Welcome traders to this video on a new ZoneTraderPro order flow indicator called the Delta Strength Indicator. In the Delta Strength Indicator, we're combining a lot of information into just two bubbles that appear above and below the order flow bars. The Delta Strength Indicator is important because when I first created ZoneTraderPro 12 years ago, I didn't have an idea why a market would go and enter a strong trend and stay in a strong trend. So I had no idea about entering a trade other than based on a pattern. And that is why I began purchasing order flow software back in 2010 to try and get some idea behind the strength behind any particular move. So I'd like to take a look at the trades that is occurring right here and show you how the Delta Strength Indicator is going to help us in that trade. On a larger time frame chart, we can see that we had POC extension sell signals occur up here, and we had an additional extension zone created for a third time at a price of 28.8550. On that third time up, that is when the 8-point sell-off began. Now the Delta Strength Indicator is a combination of two numbers. Those two numbers are the Delta Strength Indicator here, and the Delta Change Indicator, which is above or below the Delta Strength. The Delta Strength is not the Delta. The Delta Strength represents the strength of the move in that particular bar, and that's why it's called the Delta Strength Indicator. The Delta Change Indicator is the difference in the delta from bar to bar. To illustrate this, I put another indicator on a chart, and that is the delta, which you're seeing in here, 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 and here. Now, this delta number is not part of the Delta Strength Indicator. I'm only using this for illustrative purposes. The delta on this bar was a 369, and the delta on this bar was a negative 109. So the difference between 369 and negative 109 is 478. This bar, the delta increased to a negative 583. So the difference in that delta was a minus 474. The delta further increased to a minus 804. So that change was still a negative 221. This indicator in and of itself is not a timing indicator. This indicator is more meant to show you when the brakes are coming on to a particular move and to look for big changes in these numbers. The Delta Strength Indicator, on the other hand, is a direct measurement of how strong the movement down was. In this move down, we actually see significant support coming in here at a price of 28.83 from the buyers, and that is what is shown here at 28.83. We see that the buying support caused the indicator up here to be a black color, and we see significant buying and selling that occurred at a price of 28.83. What's important though is that the Delta Strength Indicator is showing a negative 484, which is a high value. The indicator has three settings to it, and those three settings are for low volume, high volume, and extreme volume, and for the period that you're going to be looking at this volume for. So what the indicator is doing is it's looking over the last 14 periods and determining an average volume. So this indicator can be used on different types of charts such as oil, gold, the ES, or the NASDAQ without having to guess at what a value for high or extreme is, because the chart itself is going to be telling the indicator what a normal average volume is. So in this case, I've chosen 14 for the period. I want 40% to represent the low volume. I want 140% to represent the high, and I want 175% to represent the extreme high. So what we would see in real time is as the volume exceeded 140% of the average, this bubble would turn to blue, giving you an indication that there is high volume and a delta force causing this to go down. Same way with here. And when the volume would surpass 175%, as it did on this bar, along with a high delta strength value, that is giving you the information that you need in real time, that is telling you that the market is going to be taken lower. The last indication that this indicator creates is one of low volume. So as we see down here, the market was allowed to rise on low volume, and that's an indication that you should be wary of if you are a buyer on this bar, because the sellers have suddenly let up for an unknown reason, and we can see that down here in a very strong delta change number. But there was no market order selling resistance here. The market order selling resistance occurred on this bar, and basically what we're looking for in these low volume labels is a false attempt to just get better prices for the sellers that we see over here, and then taking it down another several points. On the larger time frame chart, we of course have the POC extension cells occurring up here at 28.8550. We have a third extension zone being created here, and the delta strength numbers get very strong, and then they get very strong on high volume as we move through that 28.83 support that we see right here. Again, on high volume and high delta strength numbers, we see the market continuing to trade lower. Also, in the next couple days, there will be a rollout of a new version of the order flow pattern matching software, and there's going to be two significant additions to this. There's going to be a signal that you see up here and down here called the exhaustion buy, and another signal called the delta buy. One of the problems is that the label is incorrect down here. It says delta change. It should only be delta buy. And what the exhaustion and the delta signal are going to be doing is showing, as in this trade here, we see that there was a lack of buying support as the price reached the top, and then the software gave us a POC absorption and a ZTP order flow along with that. The delta sell or buy indicator represents a change in the delta from over a series of bars. So look for a new order flow indicator in the next few days. If you have any questions about this new ZoneTrader Pro indicator, or if you are a current customer of ZoneTrader Pro and would like the software, please feel free to give me a call or shoot me an email, and we'll be happy to upgrade you to this new software free of charge, as normal with the ZoneTrader Pro free update and free upgrade policy. If you have any questions, give me a call, and have a good trading day.